Honored guests, may I have your attention? The ceremony will begin shortly. Please take your seats so the aisles may be cleared for the processions of faculty and candidates for degree. As a courtesy to those behind you, please do not block the aisles and the view. For your convenience, a designated photography area is located in the center aisle and will be available after the procession of faculty and students. Please use this area for taking photos of your graduates. Also, please silence your cell phones and other electronic devices. Thank you for your cooperation and enjoy the ceremony. Honored guests, welcome to the commencement ceremony for the UCLA Herb Alpert School of Music, honoring the class of 2023. As a land-grant institution, the UCLA Herb Alpert School of Music acknowledges the Gabrielino Tongva peoples as the traditional land caretakers of Tomvangar, Los Angeles Basin, and South Channel Islands. Please rise for the procession of the Dean's official party. honored guests, please welcome the UCLA Herb Alpert School of Music, class of 2023. Please be seated. Please welcome the inaugural Dean of the UCLA Herb Alpert School of Music, Eileen Strempel.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. It is my honor and pleasure to welcome you here to this very special and joyous day. My name is Eileen Strempel, and it is my honor and pleasure to serve as the inaugural Dean here at the Herb Alpert School of Music at beautiful UCLA. Let me begin by thanking the UCLA Commencement Brass Ensemble and the West African Drum Ensemble. Woo! Isn't it great to start a ceremony with brilliant music? Many members in the ensembles are candidates for a degree this afternoon, and so I asked them to join their fellow students at this time. Thanks again. We are here to celebrate you, our candidates for graduation. You will go on to be performers, educators, leaders in music industry, scholars, writers, and arts administrators. You are the entrepreneurs and community leaders of the future. You're going to be trendsetters and change makers, and we're so proud that you have cultivated your talent and your passion here in our School of Music, and we're thrilled to celebrate you today. Two of these candidates for graduation received honorable mentions in the Chancellor's Council in the Arts inaugural Class Artist competition. This competition was open to all graduating students across the humanities, arts, and social sciences, making it a considerable talent pool. So congratulations to Jonathan Mad Sai, who graduates today. Woo! With a bachelor's degree both in musicology, and Julian Knowles, who has earned his master's in jazz performance. So candidates for graduation, as you leave our School of Music, I urge you to take a moment and reflect. You've accomplished so much while being here, and the world, meanwhile, has changed around you. Consider the most recent changing advances in artificial intelligence. This breakthrough in AI technology is the kind of once-in-a-generation change that used to be once in a century. The pace of technological advancement has accelerated dramatically. Many of your parents and family members were born into a world with no internet. Hi, that was me. And where personal computers were a novelty. I got my first computer when I was an undergraduate in college. You've witnessed a digital revolution, an internet communication revolution, and now an AI revolution. Technological innovation brings us marvels. It also brings sometimes disruption and anxiety. By some estimates, AI will change 1/4 of all jobs in the next 5 years. AI is writing essays, I hope not your college essays, holding conversations with people, and creating graphic art. In the music industry, generative AI systems have faked songs by Drake. AI raises a lot of interesting questions about what it means to be an artist and what it means to be creative. In such an age, we need you. We need these creative, musical minds, scholars, thinkers. AI may be exceptional at recognizing patterns, at guessing what words will follow other certain words, and what an acceptable order of musical notes are on the page. But in the end, that just makes AI an exceptional mimic. The real spark of creativity, it's rare, it's a gift. Artists and scholars understand how hard it is to create something truly new. That's your gift to the world. And the world needs it now more than ever. Part of the reason the world needs your creativity and passion is that AI, for all its promises and disruptions, cannot combine technical mastery with emotional pathos and meaning. AI may be remarkably good at guessing which words follow a word like justice, but it doesn't have any sense of what that concept means in today's world. But you do. You know it because of your own experiences here, both in and out of the classroom with your friends and family, and it's part of what makes us human, our ability to share joy, to experience the sublime, and to recognize suffering. This year we lost a once-in-a-generation talent in the musician and activist Harry Belafonte, and he said, quote, "Artists are the gatekeepers of truth. We are civilization's anchor. We are the compass for humanity's conscience." And so candidates for graduation, the same statement is true for scholars, administrators, educators, composers, entrepreneurs in the arts. And so as you strike out in the world, remember the importance and value that you and your passion and your vision will bring to the world. Let's recall the Music and Justice series presented this year by the Lowell Milken Center for Music of American Jewish Experience. It invoked this momentous concert, right? A lot of you were involved in that united Dave Brubeck's three sons to perform for the first time together their father's epic cantata, Music and Justice. And that concert also featured world premieres by not one, but two of our faculty. It was a program that also raised profound questions about equality, about the divisions that divide us, about healing, about progress, and about the lack of progress. And the questions raised in that concert program were also the subject of a day-long conference that placed artists, scholars, and critics on the same stage together for profound conversations. And collectively, through this intense mix of music making and analyzing and collaborating, we explored the profound meanings of music and justice. But most importantly for me, it was you. It was the students that made it a success. Students in the UCLA Philharmonia brought Brubeck's Gates of Justice to life. And one of those two world premieres that in that series that was featured was Dear Freedom Rider, written by our very own Diane White Clayton. And while she was writing the music, she requested that students, the student performers, write letters to the original freedom riders who set out to oppose segregation in 1960. And the letters that you wrote as students, those were the lyrics for that song. It was just a remarkable piece of collaboration. And it was just one of many this year. Together, students and faculty and our esteemed guests, we've all together made wonderful, beautiful music. We probed deep and sometimes troubling concepts. And together, we've attempted healing. These collaborative acts of searching, of striving, of recognizing, realizing are not something that AI or any technology could ever mimic. And so candidates for graduation, the world may have changed around you during your time here at UCLA, but you've built up your community here as well. And I'm confident that you will be, as Harry Belafonte so poignantly put it, quote, the gatekeepers of truth, civilization's anchor, and humanity's conscience. Now, of course, you haven't done it alone, and at this time, I'd like to recognize the faculty, the soul of our school, and I ask all of the faculty present to please stand and receive the recognition you so richly deserve. Thank you, and please be seated. Several faculty members here today who've given so much to this school will be leaving us after this year, and I'd like to take a moment to recognize each of them. Antonio Lisi, you've been the rock of our cello program. Peter Yates, you have built an extraordinary guitar studio here at UCLA. Maria Fortuna Dean, thank you for adding distinctive excellence to our voice area and also being one of the best classmates ever as an undergraduate with me. And Margaret Flanagan Lisi, thank you for building a sense of community and distinction to our string area. Thank you all for your gifts, your teaching, your music. We'll miss you terribly, and we hope you'll come back and make wonderful music with us soon. Next, I'd like to thank the school's devoted and truly exceptional staff members. They are the heart of our school and have worked tirelessly throughout this year to ensure that our students reach this culminating moment. And so will all of our staff members please stand and be recognized. Thank you, and please be seated. And now this is just a really special moment for me. It gives me incredible pleasure to introduce our commencement speaker, Dr. Marta Gonzalez. Marta Gonzalez is an associate professor of Chicanx Latinx Studies at Scripps College, right here in Claremont, California. She's a feminist theorist and a member of the band Quetzal. Perhaps most importantly, she is a self-described artevista, a musician and an activist who believes that music has the power to unite and uplift communities. She's excelled in all these areas. Her band Quetzal has won a Grammy. Instruments she has used with the band, including her tarima, a stomp box, and her zapateado shoes, have been acquired by the National Museum of American History. As a scholar, Marta Gonzalez has been the recipient of a Fulbright Fellowship and a Ford Foundation Scholarship. In 2022, she was named as one of 25 MacArthur Fellows. And the MacArthur Fellowship, for those of you who don't know, is incredibly special. It's not something you apply for. The foundation instead selects the brightest, the most innovative scholars, scientists, artists, and public servants in the country. And then they award them a no-strings-attached grant, colloquially kind of known as the Genius Grant. So it is an honor to welcome Marta Gonzalez to the stage today as a recipient of the MacArthur Genius Grant, as a Grammy-winning artist, and as an accomplished professor. And we also welcome her because we're welcoming her home. Marta Gonzalez graduated from UCLA with a major in ethnomusicology in 1999. All right, yeah, come on. She arrived at UCLA as a transfer student from Pasadena City College, and by her own account, it was remarkable that she made it to college at all. Neither of her parents had graduated high school. Nevertheless, her academic pathway took her to community college and then on to UCLA. Her extraordinary journey through life has always been about humanity and creativity. She's a constant reminder that music is not a solitary creation, but an act of connection, community, transcendence. And so it was great honor and joy that I welcome Marta Gonzalez back home to the School of Music here at UCLA. Please join me in welcoming her as our distinguished commencement speaker.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you, UCLA, Herb Alpert School of Music, Board of Regents, the University of California, inaugural Dean Eileen Strempel, faculty and staff for this kind invitation, and congratulations to all the graduates, undergraduates, parents, aunts, aunties, uncles, friends, and of course, ancestors who are here with us today. It is humbling to hear the list of accomplishments when I am introduced. I guess I was asked to address you all based on these successes and for my being an alumni, as our dean just expressed. Indeed, UCLA Ethnomusicology Department is my alma mater, and I have been through the fire and glory of academic life since. Trials that have brought me both challenges, but also those moments of triumph and redemption that have made it worthwhile. I would say that addressing you today is a moment of redemption for me. But full confession, I have failed much more than I've succeeded. As a culminating undergraduate, sitting where you are today, I wasn't a stellar or top student in my class. In many ways, I wasn't especially projected to succeed by much either. I was a quiet, first-generation Chicana college student who walked through the halls with pride and wonder, but probably not much purpose. All I knew was that I loved music. To address you today, I had to think deeply about what kind of advice I might have needed at this stage of my life, and not give you a false sense of what the future holds for you. There's so much turmoil in the world. The rise of white supremacy, the disregard for Black lives, the megalomaniacs and dangerous politicians in office passing legislation that is destroying the earth and imposing their wills on women's bodily autonomy. There's also the issue of book banning and the attempt to rid the educational systems of ethnic studies and critical race theory. And of course, let's not forget that you're stepping foot into the workforce and industries that are exploitative. Let's just say it's hard to stay positive in light of the fact that you have to make ends meet and do something meaningful in your life with what you have learned here. In light of all of these challenges, I can only offer my humble experience and the interdisciplinary way I have navigated through varying systems while utilizing music as a tool. What I had back in 1999 that persists today is a clear sense of the importance of memory, hope, and community. These words frame my talk today: memory, hope, and community. I begin with memory. Our memories, after all, are what often move us to make the choices we make in life and how they inform our futures. As the eldest daughter of Mexican immigrant parents, I was born into responsibility. My father always wanted to be a famous singer, but his love of music was inextricably tied to a certain definition of success, tied to the value of an industry and market system. He subjected our family to this value system and soon suffered at not being able to live someone else's version of success in music. This inevitably led him into a deep depression, and we slowly lost him for good. My father's death from alcoholism and mental health left my mother to care for our family of 4. Her second-grade education did not obstruct her will to see us out of poverty, but it nonetheless failed to protect us from its truths. Memories of living in our East LA neighborhood are fraught with some fear and sadness, yet I am also filled with a sense of gratitude. For in these troubled times, there were school teachers that awakened hope in me. In all, music and the arts were my saving grace. The arts allowed both a momentary relief and a critical consciousness that has served me to this day. My mother pushed on. Our clothes may have been worn, but we were never dirty and we never went hungry. Importantly, my mother raised our family with an abundance of love and culture that included music, poetry, and the ever-necessary dichos. It was in a dicho that I first heard the word maña. Everybody say maña. Muy bien. I forget exactly how it took place, but my mother must have scolded me for not having accomplished something, or worse, given up on a goal. No seas cobarde. Si otros pueden, ¿por qué tú no? Tienes que tener maña. Don't be a coward. If others can do it, why can't you? You have to have maña. This phrase was uttered to me in various tones during childhood and well into my adult years. Most of the time, it was followed by an anecdote of something she overcame during her own childhood. Cited in the Spanish dictionary language as a feminine noun, maña is defined as dexterity, skilled, cunning, and guile. It is a term and skill I have utilized throughout my life. In the midst of youth, motherhood, as a musician, performer, and now college professor. I see maña as a concept that is very much rooted in Chicana feminist strategies for survival, and it is one that is grounded in the lessons I gleaned from my mother. My small yet mighty mother was an orphan in the 1940s along the U.S. Tijuana-Mexico border and survived insurmountable sadness, poverty, hunger, and uncertainty starting at the age of 4 years old when her mother died shortly after a stillborn birth. As a result of these experiences, my mother undoubtedly developed a powerful and intuitive sense of maña. And although we, her 4 children, did not have to endure nearly as much, we were nevertheless exposed, privy to, and more importantly, witnessed her enact this important skill set time and again. My mother, man, she's a queen of maña. And sometimes I still marvel at how she made shit happen, despite having nothing in the cupboards of our kitchen or money in the bank. My mother raised all 4 of my siblings and I by herself. We lived in East Los Angeles, and her worst fear was leaving us unfed or unsupervised. And she stretched a minute amount of money to the limit and was our sole caregiver for most of my life and well into my teens. With 0 money to her name, she sought out free after-school activities or whatever was offered in the schools and community centers, all of which kept us busy. The time came when she began to think of her own future and the urgency to learn a trade. She enrolled in cosmetology school, and true to her maña skill set, she also devised a plan to keep us busy while she was taking courses towards her tech degree. Saturday mornings were scheduled as follows. From 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., she arranged for us to learn the religious teachings of Jehovah's Witness. She would then come home at 1:15 and make lunch for herself and us. My mother would then go back to school as 2 Mormon elders arrived to our home to teach the Book of Mormon scriptures from 2:30 to 4:30. Towards the end of the session, my mother would arrive in time to make dinner for us all. Although the elders were not allowed to watch television as part of the mandate of their mission, they would watch at that time it was a brand new show, it was called The Simpsons, after dinner with us. The elders had made an arrangement with my mother. She would not disclose the details of their visit with the bishop, and they would continue to stop by on Saturdays to discuss the Mormon scripture with her children. It was an odd arrangement, and I remember complaining to my mother and wondering what the hell we were getting out of learning 2 religious beliefs in one day, especially when we were raised Catholic. At the time, my mother would write off my complaint stating, Dios es Dios y no importa la manera en que el hombre hable de él. Es importante conocer lo más que uno pueda en este mundo. God is God, and it doesn't matter what man calls him. It's important to know as much as possible in this world. Years later, I finally realized the truth when I asked again, with a smile on her face, she'd finally confess, ¿Cómo crees que iba a conseguir una niñera sin dinero? How do you think I was going to be able to find a babysitter with no money? I was shocked. Maña. Rather than serve as converts for the church, my mother converted them into assisting her in childcare. They wanted the potential converts, and so they came by for weeks before they started to realize what was happening. I would say months. But my mother, on the other hand, did not see the danger of harnessing religious knowledge to work in our favor. Indeed, I know quite a bit about both religions, but I mainly learned a thing or two about being resourceful when times are tough. This story is a perfect example of what enacting maña means, but also how my mother never gave up hope, a lesson in hope. I am amazed how astute, clever, and imaginative she was about making sure we were well taken care of, but also actively learning new things about the world, about other belief systems, people, and cultures. Despite my mother's efforts, we continue to struggle, and I watch her come home exhausted as she worked 13-hour shifts on her feet, Monday through Saturday. This motivated me, of course, to help her out and our household. Unfortunately, I was not a college recruiter material, and so I did not enroll in a 4-year institution straight out of high school. Months before high school graduation, I tried to join the Navy in anticipation, but I was luckily too young. When I graduated, I went to a community college, Pasadena City College, dropped out once, re-enrolled, and transferred to UCLA after being recruited by Professor Steven Loza, who is here today. I was already in the ethnomusicology department, but I could not get my footing, and I dropped out, only after a year. I re-enrolled in 1997, thanks in great part to ethnomusicology advisor Alpert Bradley, who encouraged me to finish. Is Alfred here? He said he might be here. All right. It was then that I found my community. As an undergraduate, in the late 90s, I was active on campus, but also in a thriving East LA artist community. I met lifelong friends in performance courses like Music and Dance of Ghana with Kobla Ladzekpo, Afro-Cuban drumming with legendary Francisco Aguabella, rest in peace, and music of mariachi with Don Jesus Chuy Guzman, who is also here today. All were nourishing to the soul, and we learned about the deep history, the music, but mostly about the philosophy of music in each culture. And although we prepared every spring concert for this staged performance, every session prior was about being in community, the ethics, the dialogue, the worldview that gave birth to the ancient sounds. This is when I began to see where my passion lied. I had joined a band called Quetzal shortly before then, and we began to play throughout the city and as part of a greater movement of East LA artist activist community. Some of what I learned in music and dance of Ghana and Afro-Cuban rhythms made it into Quetzal compositions. I took all of what I learned in the performance groups at UCLA and worked it into the greater artist communities in East Los Angeles. We also formed performance groups with World Arts and Cultures and students to form Omo Ashe and performed in events, rallies, on and off campus, including the UCLA hunger strikes to establish the Chicano Latino Studies department. It was around this time that my band also began to tour across the country and in other parts of the world. We recorded various albums since and learned the ways of the industry and the value systems embedded in them. Experiencing music in many fronts, sites, and social locations has demonstrated to me that music is understood and engaged in several ways. I have had music experiences that, as a performer, were oppressive and have left imprints of shame and trauma in my memory. But there have also been moments of hope. Music in this sense was inspiring, a conduit of freedom and malleable tool for those who envision social change. These moments have allowed me to see how music could be a liberatory process, a deliberate act of love, and a source of empowerment for self and community. My labor as a musician over the years enables what I know, and thus what I now teach and write about, an embodied knowledge based on the varied music moments experienced on a professional stage, panhandling on street corners, and in the throes of community organizing amid the many struggles and deep trenches of social movement. Through all of these moments, over time, I've experienced a fundamental change in philosophy. I owe the change in philosophy to my time here at the School of Music and the Ethnomusicology Department, the Fandango communities in Veracruz, Mexico, and the engagement and learning of the political philosophies of Mayan Zapatista rebels in the mountains of Chiapas. All of these communities made me realize how alienated I was truly to music as a tool and community building process, a process. And I gradually unlearned what my father had taught us, or maybe never quite understood. The biggest aha moment for me was realizing that capitalism and the industrialization of music has fundamentally altered how we relate to it. It has gradually rearranged what I call the social relations of music. In this way, what was once understood as a process, another form of dialogue and or pastime with members of a community is now reduced solely as a commodity and a profession. My scholarship and teaching approaches are not asking for the abolishment of a profession and or the sale of music. We have all benefited and enjoyed the mastery of those who have decided to give their lives to the craft, regardless of how extractive the industry can be for artists. There will always be an appreciation and market system for these labors. I am more interested in reinstating the social appetite for the participatory music and dance practices that were once part of our everyday human cultures. I am interested in encouraging people to look back in their cultural histories and restore the social understandings, the protocols, and music dance practices that gave communities life at one time or another. You see, these practices to me are more than just pastimes. They are the ways in which people dialogued, debated, and even made important community decisions. As a practitioner of Fandango, which is a music and dance practice native to the state of Veracruz, I've seen firsthand how the Fandango has facilitated critical dialogue and helped communities summit into new forms of analyses, from immigrant rights, women's rights, challenging the unnatural construction of borders and anti-violence movements, Fandango has been a road to realizing injustice. Amid these generative practices, participatory practices, we find we connect with one another via this creative process. Furthermore, creative processes as non-linear forms of communications are cathartic and in this way healing for individuals and communities. I truly believe that if we made culture of these kinds of practices in our daily communities, there might be less mental health problems and less violence. As a college instructor, I instill this knowledge base by not only informing my students of the Fandango movement and demonstrating the scholarly evidence that points to the value of these practices, but I also require them to embody it. Many of my courses require students to dance together, and this, of course, I learned here first. Play the music and sing the poetic prose of the Fandango. They learn the practice, the techniques, the protocols throughout the course of the semester, and then attend and or host a Fandango as part of their final exam. They're expected to participate and be in convivencia or conviviality with others. The students finish the semester with a greater awareness and appreciation of music, and more importantly, experience the process music can be. Participatory music and dance practices, as many of you know, are fundamental forms of human interaction and nourishment that instill much needed hope. In the end, it is as simple as this. I want my students to learn the importance of being in community and realize that our dominant relationship to music is a social construction, and we have the power to alter it. Graduates, you are walking into a world where many will see your labor as your only value. You will be in industries that will attempt to exploit you, belittle you in ways that might make you feel that you must submit, abide, and accept your lot. They will attempt to define success for you. Don't let them. Don't let an industry dictate what is of value. You will be tested and challenged in many ways. As women, regardless of your degrees, title, or pay, you will still be subjected to misogynistic abuse by men in power. Paper tigers, don't let them. As people of color, regardless of your credentials, and no matter how thick with success your CV may be, you may be dismissed. But amid all of these challenges, know that there will always be moments of rupture and justice. Don't lose hope. Draw upon your memory. Remember who you are. I would not have survived my family and my communities, not at UCLA, without my family. I would not have survived without my family and my communities, not at UCLA, not in grad school, not in the workforce, without my communities. My communities have kept me grounded and accountable. Find your community. I hope that the Herb Alpert School of Music will move into the 21st century with courage and innovation. There are many things to challenge in the years to come, as I've listed earlier, and only artists have the imagination and skill to resist and recreate our world anew. We can assume that the Eurocentric values will never waver in institutions of higher education, but I do hope that the Department of Ethnomusicology, which I hear is going through some challenging times, will be able to grow and provide the unique breadth and depth of music I experienced in my time here for many decades to come. For the commitment and institutional support to sustain the field in these practices is what it truly means to be in line with the goals of diversity and inclusion. Furthermore, I now have a personal stake in its growth. For my son, Sandino, will begin his studies in the ethnomusicology department this coming fall at the UCLA Herb Alpert School of Music. UCLA Herb Alpert School of Music, I entrust him to you. And so, UCLA class of 2023, as you exit this place, regardless of what industry and institutions throw at you, your success will always depend on you and how you decide to live a life of honor and service. My wish for you is that wherever you step foot, a boardroom, a classroom, a new institution, bring your whole self. Don't check any part of yourself at the door. Invoke your ancestors. Life is interdisciplinary, and it is up to you to navigate and incorporate all that you are into every moment. May your memory run as deep as the ocean. May your hope never waver, and may you never lose touch with your communities. Congratulations.
Please just join me in expressing appreciation for Dr. Gonzalez and her really inspirational words. And now we welcome a musical interlude performed by an all-school ensemble, Equinox.
Good afternoon. I am Professor Robert Fink, Associate Dean for Academic Affairs, and my pronouns are he, him, his. Our graduate student speaker, Emma Breen, was selected by the School of Music's Faculty Executive Committee from among those who were nominated for the honor. And it's my honor to introduce to you our graduate student speaker. Emma Breen arrived as a master's student in 2021, and she's been a standout from day one. She spent the summer of 2022 playing with the Disney All-American College Band, and she's recorded on multiple soundtracks, including the feature film Pearl and the HBO show Unicorn. In 2023, Emma won the principal trumpet position for the American Youth Symphony, the West Coast's second best training orchestra. The first is, of course, the UCLA Philharmonic. She has been the recipient of multiple fellowships and awards, including the Stanley Wilson Memorial Scholarship in Composition and Brass and a Mimi Alpert Foundation Fellowship. And it's also worth pointing out that Emma spends 20 hours a week conducting stem cell research at the Zamudio Lab within UCLA's Department of Molecular and Cellular Developmental Biology. Yeah. Her love of scientific research, like her love of music, was nurtured in high school, and she continues to nurture them both in her remarkable career. And today, she graduates with a master's in music performance. Please welcome Emma Breen to the podium.
To my fellow graduating class of 2023, holy crap. I was going to say holy shit, but Lisa said that's not a great way to start a speech. Sorry. And an equally warm welcome to our friends, families, loved ones, and mentors who have helped us arrive to this momentous day. One special shout out to my 88-year-old grandmother from Illinois in attendance here today, who is checking seeing the Pacific Ocean off her bucket list this weekend. We should all be so lucky. A little less than 2 years ago, I moved to Los Angeles for my graduate degree. My parents dropped me off at the Central Illinois Regional Airport in Bloomington Normal, consisting of one terminal, less than 10 gates, and probably the fastest TSA check in the country. I got on that plane with one backpack, 2 suitcases, and my trumpets. I lived in graduate housing in Culver City, sleeping on a twin-size air mattress and eating on the floor, since I had no furniture. I was washing plastic silverware I stole from Panda Express in my sink because I had no dishes. To get to school each day, I would take the bus and then walk from the transportation hub to the school. But it felt like I was living the dream. Here I was in LA, making it happen on my own. If you leaned dangerously far off my first floor balcony, you could see the corner of Sony Studios in Culver City. I remember crying tears of joy putting together my first piece of furniture, a $14.99 side table from IKEA. I met Jens Lindemann for the first time a week after moving my entire life to LA for him. The graduate students went to Takaya and Westwood, and I sat at that table knowing my life will be forever changed because I was sitting at that table with that person. There was lots of questions in my choosing to go to UCLA. Chatting with some studio mates at Northwestern, where I did my undergraduate, I remember talking in the kitchen at a party where everyone in the room was asking why I would ever choose UCLA rather than one of the other big-name conservatory graduate programs I was accepted to. Little did they know I had already accepted my offer to UCLA. I remember my mother asking me, "So what does Jens Lindemann do? Like, who actually is he?" Both very valid questions. People had thought I was giving up by coming to UCLA, and they could not be more wrong. Admittedly, UCLA is not a perfect place. Sometimes it feels like screaming into the void would get you a better response than emailing the financial aid department. There are those professors that make you question tenure and if finishing the music degree is really worth sitting through another 3-hour class. There are inane rules and even more inane loopholes to said rules. Not to mention, I would rather lick dirt than drink the coffee at the music cafe. That being said, I have found hope in the future of music academia through faculty like Jens Lindemann, Dr. Jan Barry Baker, and Dr. Travis Cross. Real. Plus, a very special shout out to Adam Fox, who holds this entire school together. There is talent here beyond comprehension in the brass studios. Legacies are being built in these very walls from very humble beginnings. Not to mention that I beat all of the USC trumpet players to become the first female principal trumpet of the American Youth Symphony here in Los Angeles. A special Go Bruins to my sister from USC. UCLA has given me so much, and it really inspires me to give back. I have been able to see the way UCLA has been an unequivocal source of good in this world. UCLA connected me to the Maybe Alpert Foundation, whose generous sponsorship gave me the financial support to buy my first car. I have the privilege to work in stem cell research with the Zumudio Lab in the UCLA Medical School. I truly believe this class represents the beacon of possibility that is UCLA. I want to tell you a story that was told to me by someone I very much love about crossing the Rubicon. The phrase crossing the Rubicon is an idiom that means passing a point of no return. Its meaning comes from the allusion to the crossing the river Rubicon by Julius Caesar in early January 49 BC. Our Rubicons might look a little different from a river. Our Rubicon may take the shape of balancing being a full-time student and 2 jobs just to make ends meet. Our Rubicon may look like the feelings of isolation and loneliness that comes with choosing the life of a musician, with long hours, late nights, and early mornings. Our Rubicon may look like the weight of being the only woman, the only person of color, the first in your family, the youngest in a professional setting. Our Rubicon may be the same Rubicon of failure or rejection that we have to cross again and again and again. I hope you find friends like I have found in the graduate students at UCLA. I hope you find successes you never thought you would have this soon. I hope you find the fulfillment of the work you put in. Most importantly, I hope you take the time to recognize the Rubicon you have crossed and all that it entails. In this business and in this lifestyle, we very much cannot do this alone. And goddamn, I could not imagine a sexier group of colleagues to rely on. Thank you.
Now, it says here I'm supposed to say thank you, Emma, for your inspiring words. I want to say thank you for your badass words. And now it gives me great pleasure to introduce our students who yesterday were awarded the Doctor of Musical Arts and the Doctor of Philosophy degrees at a special ceremony held by the Division of Graduate Education. As part of the ceremony, each new doctor received an academic hood as a tangible symbol of their accomplishment in scholarship and performance. Today, they have joined the faculty on stage as members of our official party, and I have the honor and privilege of introducing each of them to you. So will all the doctoral recipients stand and come forward to form a line to the right of the podium.
All I'm going to do is just collect the cards for me.
Okay. Honored guests, today we celebrate 7 recipients of the Doctor of Musical Arts degree and 11 recipients of the Doctor of Philosophy degree. So recipients, when I call your name, please come forward to be greeted by Dean Strempel. During your greeting with her, our photographer will take a photo. And family and friends, please stay in your seats and let us take the photo for you. Lucas Avidan. Blair Black. Patrick James Craven. Moni Guao. Marcus Norris. Congratulations to all our newly minted doctoral recipients. Let's give them another round of applause. Now, I am delighted to introduce the candidates for the degrees of Master of Arts and Master of Music. Will our master's candidates please come to the stage and form a line to my right? There are 2 candidates for the Master of Arts degree and 39 candidates for the Master of Music degree. Candidates, when I call your name, please come forward to be greeted by Dean Strempel. During your greeting with her, our photographer will take a photo. And family and friends, again, please let us take the photo for you. Emma Breen. Shahim Selvan Hinant. Andrew Pringle. Maxwell Airy. Ian Shipper. Abigail Hernandez. Sabrina Langlois. Madeline Reynolds. Carmen Idano. Gemaline Ray Pokleb Ukupan. Yeah. Davide Di Renzenzo. Matthew Rasmussen. Will Adams. Darren Liu. Yun Dian L. Chow. Okay. Matthew Hargett. Lina Yasmin Morandi. Abraham Bonilla. Raul Arroyo. Devin Leroy Daniels. Matthew Stubbs. Darren Dean. Emiliano Lasansky. Benjamin Ring. Art Baden. Javier Santiago. Julian Knowles. Ella Kojus. Michelle Sheehy. Jesus Flores. Robert Verdugo. Austin Ho. Larry Joe Williams. Nathan Kulkasi. Eric Klein. Vincent Jurado. Sam Adam. Emma Lumsden. Congratulations to all of our candidates for the Master of Arts and Master of Music degrees. Please rise. Dean Strempel will now confer your degrees.
All right, people. By the virtue of the authority vested in me by the Regents of the University of California and the Chancellor of UCLA, I hereby confer upon each of you the respective master's degree for which you have been presented with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations.
I'm James Bass, professor of music, and my pronouns are he, him, his. Thank you, crew. Love you. I am honored to introduce the undergraduate student speaker for the 2023 commencement ceremony of the UCLA Herb Alpert School of Music. Our speaker, Yeremia Yeri Wright, was selected by our faculty executive committee from among those who are nominated for the honor. Yeri came to UCLA from Clifton, New Jersey, and I believe there's some other folks from Clifton here today from New Jersey. 4 years ago, He graduates today with a bachelor's degree and a major in ethnomusicology. Yeri is well known to everyone in the School of Music. Since day one, he has been a consummate builder of community. When students wanted representation and a voice in school governance, it was Yeri who served on the founding Student Advisory Board as co-president. The board has a long list of accomplishments, from establishing implicit bias training to creating safe and welcoming spaces for all of the students. But Yeri did not stop there. He did the hard work of organizing social events on Zoom during the pandemic and then in person when the pandemic had ended. Yeri is an accomplished singer and has participated in vocal ensembles, including the Gluck Vocal Jazz Ensemble. He was also the lead vocalist on the soundtrack of the feature film Honk for Jesus, Save Your Soul. Go see it. He was also a recipient of a number of scholarships during his time here. I would list them all, but in all honesty, they are just too numerous to do right now. And besides, Yeri is known not just for his academic achievements and his musical talent, but also for his unfailing modesty, and I don't want to embarrass him. Please help me welcome Yeri Wright to the podium.
Slay! It's like, we did it, Joe. We really did it. I had to say it. First, I'd like to start off by saying thank you to the Faculty Executive Committee for this huge honor. It really means the world to me, and I don't take it lightly. And furthermore, I want to shout out a few special professors who truly helped make my experience here worthwhile. First being Dr. Diane White-Clayton, Dr. D, as we know her. Yes. Dwayne Benjamin, I don't know if he's here today, but love him. Professor Catherine Lee, Professor Farzada Muzagar, and Professor Lori Black, who all showed me grace when I really needed it last year, more than they knew. Being real, it feels wild to be here right now. Like, 4 years ago, I wasn't even sure if I was gonna be in music school, if I really wanted to do that, and I definitely didn't think that I'd be at UCLA. Love it here, though. Don't mind that. Even 4 years ago when I first started here, I was always kind of half in, half out on music school. I mean, I thought the classes were cool, and I thought the people were interesting, but I always had this thought in the back of my head about investing in a real degree, as my dad one time said to me before I came here. For those of you who knew me well then, that was when I was double majoring in applied math, which was so silly. I don't know who that was, why I was doing that, how I got there. It's like, what were you doing, girl? And during that period, I found myself constantly having to fight with the desire to commit more to music and always wanting to do more musically, but never having the time to do so. Between taking the maximum amount of credits each quarter, getting involved in the Hill student government, which was also very interesting, and still sometimes wanting to have a social life, as every underclassman does. UCLA is known for being work hard, play hard for a reason. I found it hard to make any time for music outside of my required classes. Eventually, this constant struggle with not having enough time and also realizing that you had to do a lot of physics to get a math major, I chose to just do ethnomusicology. And I'm so glad I did. I'm so glad that I chose to invest in the community here and fully commit to being a music student. It's been a privilege getting to see the music school grow and develop, even in just the last 4 years that I've been here. I feel like I sound so old too when I say that, like I sound 40, but it's true. Like so many things have changed. Well, no, 40's not that old, sorry, 40's not that old, sorry. Whoops. Anyways, I feel like I sound older when I say that, but it really is true. I mean, in just the last 4 or 5 years, we have new ensembles like the Commercial Music Studio Ensemble, we have the Music Industry Program, we have student government now between the Undergraduate Student Advisory Board and the Graduate Student Council. We have a whole new student affairs team, which are all great, like love Adam, Kalia, and Lucy. And we have a new dean, like in the past 5 years, basically. A lot has changed. And it's been really cool to see all of these changes happen from different perspectives as a student leader, as a singer. But to be honest, I feel like the perspective that has really shown me the most about the community here and been the most rewarding has been working at the front desk. I've worked at the front desk of the music school with Alex Echeverria, who's here today, Catherine Godina, and once upon a time, Virginia Pettis for the last 2 years. And it's really taught me a lot. And to be fair, it's easy to learn a lot when you're constantly getting emails from TAs, students, faculty members, whoever, in distress about printing things out, like ASAP, basically. Like if I had $1 for the amount of times I got an email at 11:40 needing 50 copies of some random thing printed by 11:55, I'd be rich. It happens so often. And I've also learned, like I said, a lot. I've learned that I'm not a morning person. I don't know why I ever let Alex schedule me 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. every Friday for like all the last 2 years, basically. It's so silly. And it's funny, too, because he would ask me, he would be like, are you sure you want to work 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and do a morning shift and do all these things? And I'd always be like, yeah, of course, I don't mind. And the whole time, I did mind. Sorry, Alex. Love you, though. Second, and more importantly, it's shown how much we all pour into each other and want each other to do better. Working at the desk, you get to people watch a lot, and I would never say that I purposefully eavesdrop, but it's hard not to sometimes when people are just walking in and just talking very loudly. And a lot of times I'll overhear just people talking about recitals they're part of, pieces they want to work on with other students, and you'll have students drop off food, instruments, random things for other people, which I would not condone. Don't do that often, but it happens a lot. And even there was a period of time when my friend Ashley Dow, would make homemade porridge for me basically every other week because she knew I hated buying food on campus. And also, I don't cook very much, as many people know. So it's tough. And it's been really cool to be on the other end of that community building, too, through working at the desk. While it's convenient to work there, part of what's made me stay is the ability to help other students and getting to talk to people on the phone during so much of my shift. For those of you who know me very well, and I assume as you guys are starting to tell, I can talk a lot. I love to talk once you get me worked up. And so when Alex first told me that part of the job description would be answering the phone to answer questions that students, faculty, parents, whomever may have, I knew it'd be right up my alley. And there's so many stories that come to mind, too, about answering phone calls. I once had an older gentleman call me and curse me out for several minutes because he looked something up on the events calendar from last year, and he was mixed up, and he was just in a frenzy about it. I one time had to talk to an alumnus and talk them through a meltdown because they were having a rough week. But the most memorable would have to be talking to a dad of a future Bruin for literally 40 minutes during my shift about exactly what I'm talking about now. The community here and really why I chose UCLA. The father at first called just wondering about the opportunities for vocalists in the music school. But then it opened up into this larger conversation about what I thought of the school. Was it worth it for me? And what I thought about all of the people here. And I told him exactly what I say now, that I've seen a beautiful, vibrant community of people pouring into each other and making each other better. A community that has poured into me so much these last few years and has been there to help build me up, just like I've seen us all do for others when we most need it. And for that, I'm so, so, so thankful. It's moments like these that really showcase the unique community we have here and really, I think, are the key to our future as we all move on from UCLA. Looking ahead, in the real world, as we call it, even though UCLA is very, very real, investment in community and the people around you is so necessary, especially as graduates entering a world that's changed so much since college started, between the pandemic, climate change, everything really, and that's not even talking about capitalism, racism, white supremacy, everything that, is always around us. The one constant controllable thing that we know we have for sure is the people around us. Communities can be healing and therapeutic. Bell Hooks wrote that rarely, if ever, are any of us healed in isolation. Healing is an act of communion. Investment in community also enables us to achieve more and create a much more equitable future for those coming after us. There's an African proverb that talks about this, saying, if you want to go quickly, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So, to all of us gathered here, and especially to my fellow graduates, really trust and lean on those around you. Be supportive and lend a hand where you can, because our best way forward is together. Thank you.
Thank you, Yari, for your eloquent words. Thank you. My name is Lily Chan Haftek, and I'm Special Assistant to the Inaugural Dean for Curricular Reforms and the Chair of Music Education Division. My pronouns are she, her, and hers. I have the honor of announcing the seniors who are graduating with Latin honors. In recognition of their outstanding academic achievements, with all candidates for the Bachelor of Arts degrees with Latin honors, please rise. Congratulations, candidates. Please be seated. Oops. Next, I'm very pleased to introduce our graduates in the School of Music who have received a Dean's Medal for Outstanding Achievements in one or more areas, such as winning a major music competition, offering an outstanding music composition, being recognized for exceptional service at UCLA, or demonstrating superior scholarship in academic writing. Recipients, when I call your name, please come up and receive your medal from Dean Strample. The first one is Mei Chen Chan, and her medal will be accepted by Dr. Sabrina Elder. The next one is Antonia Estrada, Music History and Industry. Annabelle Hendrickson, Musicology.
It's like pinned on.
Austin Ho, Music Performance. Thomas Cato, Music Education. Nuri Lee, Musicology. Kelsey Kelly, Music History and Industry. Colin McClure, Global Jazz Study. Pedro Osuna, Music Composition. Pedro's medal will be accepted by Dr. Gloria Zhang. Savina Patel, ethnomusicology. Tara Tempesta, music history and industry. Tifoli Trulon, music performance. Yeri Wright, ethnomusicology. Please join us in congratulating these outstanding students.
Okay, it's what a lot of you have been waiting here for. And next, we will now introduce the candidates for the Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Music degree. I ask the chairs of Ethnomusicology, Global Jazz Studies, Music, Musicology, and Music Industry to come forward. I also invite our candidates for the bachelor's degrees to approach the stage, guided by our School of Music staff. Please first welcome Professor Tim Taylor, Interim Chair of the Department of Ethnomusicology. He will introduce the candidates for the Bachelor of Arts degree in Ethnomusicology.
Good afternoon. There are 12 candidates in the Department of Ethnomusicology for the Bachelor of Arts degree, and 4 students who have completed the requirements for minors in ethnomusicology and in Iranian music. Students, please come forward to be introduced individually. Devin Magan. Matthew Hansen. I don't know why I'm looking. Daisy Alexis Stevens. Yay. Sophia Bacino. Edmund Zachary Paul Altiano. Colin Gottschall. Natalie Gonzalez. Seychelle Gabriel. Yatunde Oliyinka Shakoni. Shayas Rahman. I don't need to read yours. Savina Patel. Ariana Walfred. Sydney Carlson. Alexander Marshall. Jeremiah Wright. Is that it? Now, please welcome Professor Steve Loza, Chair of the Interdepartmental Degree Program in Global Jazz Studies. He will introduce students graduating with a degree in Global Jazz Studies.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. There are 16 candidates for the Bachelor of Arts degree in Global Jazz Studies in the Interdepartmental Degree Program in Global Jazz Studies. Students, please come forward to be introduced individually. Oh, okay, that's how we do it. How are you? Alex Taylor. Anna Bettendorf. Rory Gessner. Senor, how about that? Cy Thompson. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Javon de Godwin. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, all right. Ramteen Rastegar. Hey, how are you, sir? Iran Shalom Moore. Nick Crowell. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Christian Ruiz Mendoza. Sí, señor. Yes, sir. Samuel Kredich. Trumpet player. Seven Papanostas. How was that? Almost. Sorry. Sorry about that. Hey, Alonso Santana. Yes, sir. And I'll read it as it says here, Ben the Beer Dabiri. Mr. Arthur Fitch. How are you? How are you, man? And Chris Wismer. Good man, good man. And finally, another pretty good trumpet player, Mr. Colin McClure. Yes, sir. So let's hear some congratulations to all the candidates for the Bachelor of Arts in Global Jazz Studies. And now I'd like to welcome Professor Travis Cross, Chair of the Department of Music. He will introduce students graduating with a Bachelor of Music in Music Performance, Bachelor of Arts in Music Composition, and Bachelor of Arts in Music Education.
Thank you. Good afternoon. There are 31 candidates in the Department of Music for the Bachelor of Music degree in Music Performance, 1 candidate for the Bachelor of Arts degree in Music Composition, and 16 candidates for the Bachelor of Arts in Music Education. 6 of these candidates have earned double degrees in Music Performance and Music Education. Students, please come forward to be introduced individually. Siona Francis. Two pictures. There we go. Elizabeth Fortescue Hall. Kyle Hurlbert. Jessica Carlson. Tivoli Trelaw. Erwin Merida. Lucas Dondelay. Eric Alvarado. Thomas Cato. Yusung Lee. Kayla Fan. Nivron Jacob Castro. Lorena Garcia. Cash Lange. Frankie Peacock. Amaya Fogg. Renee Chandler. Weena Park. Luke Candius. Abigail Higgins. Esther Myers. Hannah Stefrak. Arya Shapuri. Yidan Sun. Emma Y. Yim. Catherine Rusalov. Caitlin Lang. Matthew Orihel. Brooke Berry. Devin Walsh. Mana Chan. Alisa Kodos. Claire Parker. There you are. That's right. Daniel Garcia. Saul Tomas Gutierrez Sandoval. Congratulations to all the candidates for the Bachelor of Music and Bachelor of Arts degrees in the Department of Music. Great work, everybody. Now, please welcome Professor Raymond Knapp, Chair of the Department of Musicology. He will introduce the candidates for the Bachelor of Arts degree in Musicology from the Department of Musicology.
Good afternoon. There are 6 candidates for the Bachelor of Arts in Musicology in the Department of Musicology, and 18 students who have completed the requirements for the minor in musicology. Marlee Noel Orr. Dylan Van Sol. Sherry Nay Sledge. Sorry. Sitla Lee Ortiz. Annabelle Hendrickson. Jennifer Collier. Jordan Kane. Julian Lee. Noura Al-Kubaisi. Nuri Lee. Congratulations to all the candidates for the Bachelor of Arts in Musicology in the Department of Musicology. Now please welcome my colleague, Robert Fink, Chair of the Interdepartmental Degree Program in Music Industry. He will introduce the candidates for the Bachelor of Arts in Music History and Industry from the Department of Musicology.
Good afternoon.
There are 20 candidates for the Bachelor of Arts in Music History and Industry in the Department of Musicology. There are also 39 students who've completed the requirements for the minor in music industry in the interdepartmental degree program in music industry. Chetas Halagunda. Joshua Kirschner. Jefferson Alade. Jack Stenzel. Maania Mohebi. Kaylee Reyes. Kendra Faltzgraf. Sierra Davis. Jennifer Collier. Annabelle Hendrickson. Jonathan Chai. Annika Dudley. Bodhi Lucero. Samantha Heller. Max Lockery. Liam McGrath. Antonio Julian Fred Estrada. Lucas Casto. Ruben Rojas Marquez. Quinn Campbell. Joshua Sung. Lulu Dawson. Samantha Ulan Nujami. Brooke Maturina. Tara Tempesta. Aliyah Nooteote. Jack Zager. Kelsey Kelly. Christina Hernandez. Katsira Youthus. Yidan Sun. Congratulations to all the candidates for Bachelor of Arts in Music History and Industry in the Department of Musicology.
Congratulations to all of our candidates for the Bachelor of Music and Bachelor of Arts degrees. And now I ask that all candidates rise and remain standing as I confer your degrees. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Regents of the University of California and the Chancellor of UCLA, I confer upon each of you the bachelor's degree for which you have been presented and with all the rights and privileges thereto. So now, everyone, graduating class of 2023, academic tradition suggests that a student has not yet earned the bachelor's degree. Wear the tassel on the right side of the mortarboard. That's right, you're getting ready to turn that tassel. Upon the degree being conferred, they move the tassel to the left side. Now please join the select company of UCLA graduates by moving your tassels to the left. Woo! All right, now, I know that you're just one step away from some amazing ice cream and all kinds of goodies here in the reception, but not before we do some thank yous. Class of 2023, congratulations and best wishes to you. Please be seated. Now, just as we've been hearing all afternoon here, no one does this alone. So please join me in thanking those who sacrificed so much to make today possible. First, will the parents, guardians, and siblings of our graduates please stand and remain standing? And next, will the spouses, partners, and the children of our graduates please stand and remain standing? And last but not least, will the grandparents, aunts, uncles, and friends of our graduates please stand? And I also now ask the official party to join the audience in standing as the UC alma mater is led by our graduating vocal students.
We ask that all of our honored guests please remain in your seats until the official party and all of today's graduates recess to Dixon Court South. We will all join a reception featuring a mixtape of music by our talented student performers, producers, songwriters, and composers. Now, please enjoy a musical performance by our Mariachi de Yucatán Ensemble.
De mis pesares, ojos de papel volando, negrita de mis pesares, ojos de papel volando, a todos diles que sí, pero no les digas cuando así me dijiste a mí, por eso vivo penando. Cuando me traes a mi negra que la quiero ver aquí, con su rebozo de seda que le traje de ti. Cuando me traes a mi negra que la quiero ver aquí, con su rebozo de seda que le traje de ti. Ay, nama, nama. Ay, nama, nama. Ay, nama, nama. Cuando los camperos van, ay, yo no palapan. Ay, yo no palapan. Cuando los camperos van, ay, nama, nama. Ay, nama, nama. Ay, nama, nama. Cuando los camperos van, allá no palapan, allá no palapan, cuando los camperos van, ay nama nama, ay nama nama, ay nama nama, a su caballo le san, grítale la toda capa, grítale la toda capa, abandonito cara, ay nama nama, ay nama nama, lázalo, 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 lázalo que se te va. Échame en tus brazos mi alma si me tienes por lugar. Ay, nama, nama, ay, nama, nama. pollitos pío pío se los lleva el gavilán, se los lleva el gavilán, los pollitos pío pío.
La gallina van diciendo
que maldito gavilán, que maldito gavilán, todos se los va comiendo. Lázaro Patricio, tu mujer es muy hermosa, acostadita en su cama parece una mariposa.
Lázaro Patricio, tu mujer es muy bonita, acostadita en su cama parece una palomita.
Salen los pollos corriendo.
La gallina va diciendo que maldito comadreja, que maldito comadreja, todos se los van comiendo.
Lázaro Patricio, tu sombrero anda volando, por la calle andan diciendo que tu amor se está acabando.
Lázaro Patricio, tu sombrero ya voló, por la calle andan diciendo que tu amor ya se acabó.